Call to order the April 4th, 2022 workshop meeting of Plymouth Township Council. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for your involuntary patience. I just knocked your coat on the ground.
Thank you.
Fix that for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. First tonight we have a presentation for 400 Davis Drive from Adam Tracy.
Yes. Is there a spot to stand or?
Just so we can hear you in that little green circle there.
That microphone? Okay, cool. I'm going to hand these out first. We underestimated. We saw 5 names online, so there's 6 of these. We thought we were doing well with 6, so somebody has to share. Okay. Okay.
We'll share.
Yeah, you can give one too.
Here you go. I'm sorry about that. So I am Adam Tracy. The other man in the suit over there is Ryan Wint. We are the owners of Long Shots Sport and Social Club. And the other 2 over there are Pat O'Brien, the general contractor, and our architect, Ken Justice. So Ryan and I have been searching for the perfect building for our social club for the last year plus. We've looked at over a dozen places. And we finally think we found a home in Plymouth Meeting at 400 Davis Drive. And if you're not familiar where this is, on the second page, there's a little aerial view of it. It's if you know where the Target and the Metroplex is, off of Gallagher Road. If you go past that, you go past the railroads, it's on your right. So we've been looking at it for about 2 months now. And the reason it's perfect for what we are doing is what we're going to explain. So what is Long Shots? Bless you. Long shots, there's 3 parts of long shots. The one part is golf simulators. So if you're not familiar with a golf simulator, it is the most realistic way to play golf without going out to a golf course. It's like a movie theater screen right in front of you, and there's pictures on page 2 or 3 of golf simulators. And you go, you bring your clubs to long shots, you hit a ball into the screen, and the ball amazingly goes exactly where it should go. You can pick from over 100 courses around the world. You can pick Pebble Beach. You can pick the easiest course in the world. When I go, I play Pebble Beach. I'm terrible at golf, and I'll be honest with you, Council, I don't like golf. But these golf simulators are fantastic. When Ryan and I were discussing this business about a year and a half ago, he said, "What do you think of golf simulators?" He's asked me to play golf outside 100 times. I've said no 100 times. Okay, I don't like it. I find it extremely boring. I second the
motion.
Okay, good.
I'll finish the motion.
But when he said, let's go to a golf simulator about a year and a half ago, I honestly had the time of my life, and we've been going ever since. You sit there, it takes about an hour for a round as opposed to, 4 or 5 hours, and I hit the ball in the woods every time or in the water. It's, again, not my thing, but these golf simulators are a lot of fun. So that's the first part of our plan. The second part is our leagues. And this is where I'll tell you a little bit about my background. I started the King of Prussia Sport and Social Club back in 2012. I wanted to form something fun for adults in our area, so we did adult co-ed kickball. Amazingly, it went really well, and adult co-ed dodgeball. And the first year for kickball, we had 41 players, and for dodgeball, we had 23. And we had 3.5 teams for each. And if you know anything about competition, that's terrible. You can't play leagues with 3.5. But we made it work. We had a lot of fun. Went to the bar afterwards. And then over the next 2 years, we grew, and then we moved it to Conshohocken. And that's where the Conshohocken Sports Leagues exploded. We ended up in our adult co-ed league. We had 30 teams, 500 players. We put it to A fields every Thursday night for 4 years. Anytime between 6 and 10 o'clock. And then the Boathouse was our sponsor, and then everybody would just go there. I keep saying the word fun because it was 40% female, 60% male. Were there people who took it too seriously? Of course. But it's kickball. It's adult co-ed kickball. Let's be honest here. And then I started cornhole and shuffleboard. And that's where we're focusing with long shots, indoors. Cornhole was the second sport that exploded. We had 50 teams times 3 people on a team, so it was 150 people. Every Thursday night at the TK Club in Conshohocken. Every skill level you can imagine. Ryan's one of the best players in Pennsylvania. I don't know, he's just good at everything, but he's incredibly good. And then you go later in the evening and you have people who can barely hit the board. and I guarantee they have more fun than Ryan. They just throw it. If they hit the board, they go crazy. They high five. You know, they make fun of each other. It was fun. I keep saying fun. And then shuffleboard was also a lot of fun, but we were limited by our space at the Conshohocken Brewing Company. We only had one table for 3 hours on a Wednesday, so we could only do 8 teams. I had a wait list of 20 teams. So, and I listed other leagues on there that we will have: ping pong, billiards, darts, air hockey. And the beauty of our game room is that, let's say in 5 years, cornhole just isn't in demand. Whatever is in demand, we can put in that game room. So that's the beauty of that part of our business. And the third part of our business is the bar/food. Ryan and I know the bar business somewhat, but we also have a good friend or two that know the bar business very well. They're general managers at two of the biggest bars in Philadelphia. So the one we've talked to extensively, we wouldn't put a bar in a building unless we had the right person or two, and we do. So that was part of our business. We went back and forth on this. Do we want to do a bar? Do we not? But in order for our business to work, we need the revenue from our bar. So that would be part of that. And then you go to the food portion. We don't want a kitchen. We don't want to do any food. For us, the profit margin is not there. But in order to satisfy our liquor license, you need food. So we either do food trucks, which is a definite possibility, or we would do a partnership with DoorDash and Grubhub and Uber Eats, and partnership with all the local establishments in the area, whether it's Chipotle or Ruby Tuesdays, whatever it may be. So Chris Manero is sitting there drinking a beer, watching the Phillies game, and he's like, I want a burger from Five Guys. He goes on his app, he types in long shots, he gets a discount. It gets there in 20 minutes, and it goes to the front desk, and it says, Chris Manero, your food's here, come pick it up. That satisfies the liquor license. We want nothing to do with the kitchen, but that will help. We obviously know people are going to eat there. So with those three portions of our business, we really hope 400 Davis Drive is our home. It's the perfect size. It's an open space. There's 100 parking spots at night. There's 40 parking spots during the day. There's no residential neighbors. We have no new construction. So we're really hoping that really hoping that's our home. And any questions you guys have between the four of us, we can certainly answer them.
I have a question. You mentioned needing a variance. What kind of variance would you need for this?
Did I mention a variance?
Like you said, a
Special exception.
So I assume
Okay, so the special exception was we would be a fitness center with the special exception of having a cafeteria. I looked at the Plymouth Township website, and that's what it's in a limited industrial zone. We understand that. So it would be the fitness center with the accessory use of a cafeteria.
You're also allowed retail sales and services by special exception in the limited industrial zone. So
Right.
You're good.
Okay.
It's not a variance, it's a special
Right.
exception. They have to go to the zoning hearing board to get it, but it is a permitted use by
Okay.
special exception.
Thank you.
I guess just a couple questions about the parking and the hours.
Mm-hmm.
So, on a weekdays,
Yes.
are you envisioning this only being open in the evenings or also during the day?
Also during the day for the golf simulators.
Okay.
Because the golf simulators, it's a beautiful thing because some people like me will just go in there and hack around at night, just have fun. But people will go in there to practice their swing. There's a driving range, and we will hire a pro to help people. I mean, they really won't go to the driving range. They'll come to a simulator and play inside. So that'll be open during the day for the golf and for people to watch the games, and the bar will be open.
And then I assume the additional nightly parking spaces is there parking that's communal between the other offices back there?
Yes, we talked to our landlord about that. People clear out at 5. You can see on that area view there's 120 spaces just around our building. And he says once they all clear out, they're all yours.
Any idea what you think your capacity would be in terms of patrons at one time?
Man, I don't. Give me an idea. I mean, I would 150.
That'd be high.
Is that high?
All right, well, you can see 3 simulators, and you'd say between 2 and 6 people per.
Yeah.
So let's say that'd be 18 right there. You got probably 6 employees, that's 24.
Same
And then-
cornhole, we can do 150 people.
Well, that'd be high too. I mean, we
Yeah.
cornhole, I mean, you have like 8 courts. and-
5. But the thing is about cornhole, sorry, it would be spaced out. So there would be like 30 people coming at 6:30, and then 30 people coming at 7:15. Now, do people hang out all night? Sure. I mean, people do, but some people, once they're done their cornhole, they take off. So
It's the
it
same
wouldn't be
with-
150 people at one time. Sorry, that's. I should have
Same
put-
with any of the bocce courts in the area. They have their 6:30 games or 8 o'clock games. It's-
So over the span of 4 hours, there would be 150 people there. They would not be there all exactly at 6:30 or 7 or 8, whatever it would be.
And I think I know the answer just by reading what's on here, but is this partly a membership club and then partly anybody can come in at
It's-
any time? Or is it all membership based? Or is
None.
or none?
None. So there's no membership to get into long shots, but you have to register online to be in the league.
Unless
So
you
if
come
the-
on the open nights.
Right. So we'll have leagues Monday through Thursday. We'll have multiple leagues. The place will be big enough where you can have, like, let's say a shuffleboard league over here and a golf simulator league over there. But no, there's no membership required to enter, no.
Anybody else?
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Is the reason why pulmonary services is high? And I'm kidding.
Well, I don't know where you're going with that one.
I guess you see this golf game.
Your shared parking agreement will need to be approved by the zoning hearing board also. And
Okay.
the issue regarding food trucks is something that we're going to need to take a look at to make sure you don't need any relief for having food trucks there.
Okay.
I don't think you would. I don't think our ordinance is that detailed, but it's probably something that we would, when you get ready to make your application, the zoning officer will look at.
Okay.
So I'd make sure you put in there that you're contemplating having food trucks on site so he can take a look at it.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions?
Can I just ask, how much of that building are you going to occupy? All of it, or?
No, about the right third?
Right third.
Yeah. It's 9,900 square feet.
Is the balance empty at right this point?
No. The rest of it's occupied.
Okay.
Pulmonary
It's pulmonary services.
You hyperventilate above your belt. Yeah.
Go get some exercise. I don't know if he's taking all of it apart.
Looks like fun.
Get back on the shared parking, I believe you're going to be, are you for the zoning hearing board?
That was honestly a question I was going to
This
ask
month?
you. I know we have not yet, but we
Not
would
yet.
love to.
Okay. Well, I
You have to go in
believe,
front of the planning first for this?
well, yeah, so you're not on this month. I was just checking.
Okay.
So, you're not on, you need to have an application, so if you need the shared parking, you have to add that to your application as well as your
Okay.
special exception
Okay.
for your use. And you have to work with our zoning officer, Dave Conroy.
Okay.
It's,
I've spoken with Dave, sure.
Yeah, so it's about a 4 or 5 week before you get to the zoning hearing board when your application is all due,
Okay.
because it has to be given.
Should I reach out to Dave then?
Yeah,
Okay.
public notice has to be given and advertisements and all kinds of.
You haven't filed the zoning application yet? Okay. Yeah, so it's better to talk to Dave ahead of time, and he'll be able to take a look at the food truck issue, the shared parking. We know you need a special exception, so.
Okay.
Yep,
I spoke to Dave about this,
Yes.
and then I went to Karen, and
yep,
here we are.
yep.
And you'll have to go,
Oh, you're Karen.
Okay.
I talked to you.
Yeah. Yeah,
and you'll have to go in front of the planning agency, and they meet the first Wednesday of each month,
Okay.
before you go to zoning hearing.
Okay.
Dave will fill you in on that.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right.
Very good.
Thanks,
All
Andrew.
right. Thank you so much.
Good luck with it.
Oh, I did have one other question. Do you have a liquor license currently, or are you going to be getting one and bringing it in?
We're going to be getting one and
Okay.
bringing it in.
Then that involves another process of coming before the board.
Okay.
If you're transferring one in from outside of the township,
Mhm.
you have to come before the board for a hearing on a transfer of a liquor license. If you're buying one inside the township, then you don't need to come before the board. But if you're bringing one in, there's a separate hearing.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
T's to cross and I's to dot.
All right. No other presentations?
Does.
Correct? We will have next week a 30-year 30 years of service resolution for G. Philip Brady. I would love to read that if that's okay with you.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to stress the 30.
Multiple languages.
He was in high school, right?
I won't make any additional comments.
After school jobs.
Nick might not have been.
Nick was not born.
Let's see, moving down to the Wind Gap settlement.
I'll do that.
Anything different than what we've spoken about
Nope,
before?
nope, everything's in place.
I believe you'll be doing that
Yes.
next week.
And then the second bond issue.
Yeah, I just wanted to report that Kellen and I spoke today with our contacts at PFM on the second bond issue, just trying to, we've given the notice to proceed for the renovation of the township campus, just to decide, when the best time would be to borrow the second borrowing, and so that, since we have a couple of new council members, how that process goes. And I think right now I've penciled in PFM to come on May 2nd for the workshop to explain the process. Whether we do it like right now or wait till the fall, we're going to have another borrowing to complete the building, and the two buildings, the Public Works building and the Township building. So,
Are we locked into the rate that we had previously been approved on?
well, only for the
first
bond.
one.
Only for the first bond. No, that didn't lock anything into the second. Of course, long-term interest rates have slowly begun to rise. So that's, I guess, when they come next month, they'll ask you if you want to do it a little bit sooner, or wait and see what happens, wait a few months and see what happens. It's hard to know, no crystal balls. But they will come in, the fellow's names are Scott Shearer and Ben Kappenstein, and they'll come in next month to explain that process to you. I think we're going to have to go back to Harrisburg. Sadly, I don't think the $18 million that was approved is going to be enough, but I'll have some spreadsheets, and we're still trying to negotiate our last, part of that, so we'll have a better feel for what the total project cost is. Hopefully soon. So.
Any activity over there yet?
No, but we hope that the temporary fencing is coming on Wednesday.
Mike Collins, construction manager, he's been over there, so I think Wednesday the fence will come, and then Friday the trailers will come.
All right. That's good. That's a good sign.
It's a good sign.
Yeah, let's get this
We're
going.
going to start boxing the rest of the administration department up and move to the code enforcement department, because they want to start with the auditorium and the admin side first. They had to rephase the whole project because of materials that they cannot get, and so that's the plan right now. So we have, we're working toward that.
All right.
Getting closer day by day. Yeah. I mean, they'll have the front steps of the building ripped off. They're going to build a handicap ramp so that people, I guess, could all walk and disabled could use to get into the police department on will that be a temporary basis, or are they going to put the real one in to start with?
I think it's going to be temporary. They had a couple of guys out today. I think it's going to be, it may be a combination of both.
Okay. So that there's constantly access to the police department, but, we're thinking and planning to keep the rest of the building closed to the public. It just makes sense. It's going to be an active work zone. We'll be digging a hole in the middle of the floor in the middle of the lobby for the elevator. It's going to be an active work zone. It's going to be unsafe for people to be coming in to pay a sewer bill when they don't really need to. So,
Sounds good.
yep.
Anything else under administration? All right. Chief?
No, I have nothing. Thank you.
Handicap parking resolution for 467 Old Elm.
So I had raised an issue about this. earlier about the paragraph further resolved, and Mike is going to look into what this motor vehicle code is and what it means for a private citizen to issue a statement to a violator or to a violating vehicle. So I think this resolution may get changed.
We hope to have an answer for you quickly, like tomorrow, so then it can be on the agenda for Monday. But if not, if it requires further discussion, then we'll let you know and maybe advise that it be pulled. But I think we'll be able to have the answers for you pretty quickly.
Okay.
Remember this, John, years ago, or maybe Chris, people with placards would get cards, and it would basically tell other people not to park in a handicapped spot if they didn't really need it. Do you remember that or not?
I don't remember that.
Do you? No.
I think we may just want to pull that language out of there and not encourage that sort
You don't
of,
want
anyone with a handicap placard
confrontation
can park
today.
anywhere, so.
Right.
Times have changed.
Times have
Yeah.
changed.
And I wouldn't want to see a handicapped individual going mano a mano with,
I mean, all they have to do is call.
Yeah.
So,
They used to have cards that when you got your handicap placard, you got a little stack of cards like you were like a little enforcer, and you would tell other people don't park here. You know, seeing them, I know somebody who had them.
Yep.
So, but today you can't write that confrontation at all. So, but I think that's why that says that.
yeah, old language.
Some of them used to have colorful language, which I don't think we would be encouraging.
No, that either. No. And you can't always tell what somebody's disability is by the way they walk.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or don't walk, yeah.
All right, so we'll look at that. And
But
then
I
if
guess
that,
we can still read it, right, if it's,
and that would be Nick.
yeah.
Anything else for Public Works? Looking over here. Engineering, Mr. Manai.
I have nothing to report tonight, sorry.
Down to E for 2622 Butler. It's Kathy, right?
Lynn, I think.
Lynn.
No, that's Lynn, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that the Powell property?
Howell, yeah.
Yeah, that's Lynn.
Okay,
That's,
sorry.
it's 3-1. My name.
And an extension for Sandy Hill. Is that me?
I think that's Nick, isn't it,
I'm struggling on my geography.
Nick? Past Grandview.
Oh, yeah, that's Nick. Oh, yeah, that's Nick. That's Nick.
Past Grandview, but before Bummer. Yeah.
Oh, no, Fairfield, on that one. It's closer to Fairfield.
Closer to Fairfield? Yeah,
That's,
yeah, that's
yeah.
Next one is Nick also for June 7th extension. Anything else on there? Any questions about any of that stuff? Did I skip anything? Seems like that was too quick.
Yeah. You know what, the Craft Custom Homes, though, sorry, Lynn, I think that's going to be ready for conditional approval, so it would really be Mike.
Mike?
And that's the one resolution.
That's what we talked about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
See, that's why I asked. I'm not sure you get some work out of this.
That's right.
So that's Mike, not Lynn?
Correct.
Code enforcement?
I have nothing until today when Harmonville's looking like they may be dividing the room up. So I would ask for, again, the waiver on the fees.
Is that something we have to vote on?
I think we do, don't we? Do we?
I think we did last week.
Yeah.
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 So I'll add that.
Yep.
Wait, a fee waiver?
Yeah.
Yes. For the 2100 Butler Pike building.
And does Keystone waive their piece? Keystone waive their piece of that?
They'll waive their fees, yes.
Mhm.
I can take that one.
I don't have the amount yet because they haven't told me the exact amount.
Zoning?
I'll read it this time.
Just have a,
Is that Kathy or who said that? Kathy?
I had one question, because there is one on here about a shed,
Mhm.
the last one. So,
Like
I know,
sheds?
yeah, lots of sheds.
Always sheds.
I know that when Mr. Delacourt spoke in a meeting a while back, we did say we were going to kind of look at, was that a shed issue that we were going to look at to see if maybe we wanted to change anything? I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I have a note at my desk. I think he wanted a 10 by 20 or some size, larger shed than's permitted on certain lots that were large enough, like A and B size lots, but not C or D's.
I think we had said something like we always grant it, so should we?
Why not make it?
Why not make it?
But don't you also let neighbors know just in case
You have
they
to.
have a problem,
Yes.
like maybe water runoff or?
Yep. Takes
So-
up the whole backyard, or some people.
Block something.
Sometimes it blocks drainage patterns when they put them in.
Yeah, that's what I was saying with the
Okay.
water runoff.
Yeah,
So
I think it's better to let it go before the board.
And let the give neighbors the opportunity, even though they rarely challenge it, there may be a situation.
Right.
Okay. I just know we had talked about it, and I know we ever.
He didn't, actually, I was gonna, because it's a zoning change, the size of a shed, you have to go through the whole Montgomery County review process. I was gonna throw it on the end of another thing or two, you know how miscellaneous junk gets thrown into a thing. Otherwise, we'd have to have a whole separate hearing. There might be a few other zoning cleanup items that you can just do a housekeeping kind of thing, but I do have that written down.
Public Works does, we do check the location of sheds, so they're not in the swale. So before they are able to put it out, they mark it where it's gonna go, and we verify. Because they always use the rearmost portion of the property, but always seem to put it in the swale. So we do check that out.
Got it.
Is this also the one where there was like the third shed on the
It
same
is the
property?
third
Like,
shed.
is there also?
Oh, it's going to be a
any-
third. I thought they were putting a big one where two are.
They don't talk about removing others,
Well,
but
that's
it
what-
is a third.
It says
That's what I was-
a shed where two exist, so,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that, but I kind of thought,
you're only allowed one shed, and you can go to, the zoning board can grant you a second one, but when you look at the application and what they show on their property, they have two already. And they don't say to be removed.
that's what I was wondering about, because that seems like a lot of sheds for a yard.
It's
like a- it's
if
like
I
a little
can,
village.
I'll try like 3
Yeah,
sheds.
we'll let the zoning board handle that.
yeah.
Hopefully they would handle that the right way.
We can always go,
I'm sorry, who said they were going to read those?
Kathy.
I did.
And all these freedom fence ones are the same as the ones last month, right?
Yeah.
Same issue?
Pretty much. There's another one on a separate property, but,
Yeah,
The fence, there's one on
Sierra.
Sierra, which is in my neighborhood, yeah. But it looks like makes sense. I have to walk by it.
That one's in a C residential, not a B.
Anything else for zoning? All right. Parks and Rec, upcoming events. I'm sorry, who just said that? Was that Lynn? Lynn.
who's going to read it?
Lynn. Mr. Brady, anything else?
No, next month maybe we'll do Plymouth Township Day and upcoming events, because it's coming quickly, so.
I like to hear that.
Yep.
All right. Anything under planning? Nothing. Citizen board vacancies, the usual. Any takers?
Yeah, I'll read those.
Karen.
You may have an appointment after you have your executive session.
Mhm.
If so, I'll add.
Yeah, I think we're going to get an appointment.
Yeah. We have a plethora of candidates.
And then I did add the township plastic study. I guess Bill had asked about that, to make an announcement that I guess the survey's coming, or to, click on to the.
Oh, the plastic
if you want to
bag.
make that announcement next week, but
Right.
he had asked that in an email. We're going to have the inserts in the sewer bills, and We'll put it on the website, we'll put it on Facebook, but he also asked for an announcement of a meeting. So I'll have that on there, does anybody want that?
I'll take that one.
Oh, boy. That rain?
Who's
No,
that?
it's just,
It's the air.
Is there an
Did
airplane?
sound
Is
like
an airplane
rain.
coming?
That was a hurricane.
we had hail yesterday.
All right. Anything additional? Adjourned until green.